Hi, my name is Kishore Subbaiah, and this is my NBA analysis presentation for Python for Data Analytics. This is my final project, and this presentation is based off of my NBA data analysis project and report. So, starting with the executive, my analysis was conducted using a dataset titled NBA Draft Basketball Player Data 1989 to 2021, and this dataset was taken off of Kaggle.com. And I believe this dataset is reputable because this dataset uses data found on basketballreference.com, which is partnered with companies such as Sportradar, which provides statistics for the NBA. And the objective of my analysis was to see if there's any relationship between draft pick position and career longevity, and draft pick position and scoring efficiency. When it comes to some background on the NBA stands for the National Basketball Association, and the modern NBA as we know it today was founded in 1949. And this is some context on the NBA draft. So, the draft is a critical event before the season commences. And in the draft, teams strive to find a franchise player, someone who can transform the franchise to a championship level team, or a playoff contender, or a role player, someone who can fit in with their culture, coaching, and system. This is someone the team hopes to develop into a franchise player, not not someone the team expects to be a franchise player right off the bat. And the purpose of my analysis was to see how draft picks perform over time, and for teams to prevent costly draft pick mistakes and maximize the value of their future picks. And the image on the left is a photo of LeBron James, arguably one of the greatest basketball players of all time, with former NBA Commissioner David Stern on the night of his 2003 draft. So when it comes to the two research questions of my analysis, my two questions were how does draft position relate to career longevity? And this was measured by games played and total minutes. And are the top 10 draft picks from the NBA draft classes of 1989 to 2021 more efficient scorers than the later first round picks, or picks 11 to 30? And this was measured using field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, and free throw percentage. When it comes to my observations on career longevity by focusing on games played, I found that the fifth pick on average plays the most games, and the average was calculated using the mean. And the exact value, if you want to be specific, is 677 games, or around 10 seasons if they play 65 games per season. I'm using 65 games because that's how many games a player needs to play to be in contention for the league most valuable player award. And as you can see from the graph, there is a moderate negative correlation. And you can ask me, hey, what does that mean? And I'll tell you, a moderate negative correlation means that as one variable increases, the other tends to decrease at a medium strength. So from this graph, we can see that there's a moderate negative correlation value of negative 0.415. So in our context, that means that players picked earlier in the draft tend to play more games, but the relationship isn't perfect. When it comes to my observations using minutes played, however, the first pick plays the most minutes on average. Again, average is calculated using the mean. The exact value is 21,453 minutes. That's a lot of minutes. If we assume a player plays 30 minutes of a 48-minute game, that's about 715 games in a 65-game season, and that's around 11 seasons. Again, this is if the world was perfect, which it isn't, but for my presentation, let's assume it is. And again, as you can see from the graph, there is again a moderate negative correlation, this time a value of negative 0.440. And so again, I can tell you the definition that the earlier picks tend to play more minutes and the later picks tend to play less. But this is not a perfect relationship. It is rather one of medium strength. When it comes to my second research question on scoring efficiency, we can see that the top 10 picks narrowly clear the bottom 11 to 30 picks in all scoring efficiency categories. These are field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, and free throw percentage. If we want to go in depth and focus on scoring efficiency of each of the three categories and try to find the best pick for each category, here it is. So when it comes to field goal percentage, the best pick for this category is the first pick. And on average, the first pick shoots about 49% from the field. Again, average is calculated using the mean. One example of this is Ben Simmons. Let me move my screen. That was a pretty clean one. So, Ben Simmons was picked first overall in 2016, and his career field goal percentage is 56%. When it comes to 3-point percentage, the best pick for this category is the fourth pick, and the fourth pick, on average, shoots 33.2% beyond the arc. An example of this is Chris Paul. There he is. So Chris Paul was picked fourth overall in the 2005 NBA draft, and his career 3-point percentage is 37%. When it comes to free throw percentage, the best pick is the third pick, and on average, the third pick shoots 77.1% from the free throw line. And an example of this is Carmelo Anthony. He was picked third overall in 2003, and his career percentage is 82. And his career free throw percentage is 82%. And he was picked in the same draft class as LeBron James. However, if we were to look at scoring efficiency overall, and I'm defining this value as the mean of the field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, and free throw percentage, the best overall efficient scorer is the third overall pick, with a percentage of 52.2%. An example of this is Bradley Beal. He was picked third overall in 2012, and his overall scoring efficiency in his career is 56.1%. And if we're looking at it category-wise, when it comes to field goal percentage, the top 5 draft picks are the first, the third, the ninth, the second, and the 27th. And these draft picks shoot 45 to 49% from the field. When it comes to the 3-point percentage, the top 5 draft picks are the 4th, the 3rd, the 10th, the 14th, and the 21st. And these draft picks shoot about 30 to 33% from the 3-point line. And this is a bad screen move. Okay, this one wasn't that smooth. That's my bad. But when it comes to free throw percentage, the best draft picks tend to be the 3rd, the 5th, the 7th, the 13th, and the 10th, shooting from 75% to 77%. And when it comes to the overall shooting efficiency, or the mean of the three values, the top 5 are the top 10 picks: the 3rd, the 4th, the 10th, the 5th, and the 7th, shooting 50 to 52%. And these values are screen grabbed from my code output. And again, my observations: the top 3 spots in all categories are clinched by the top 10, and the top 10 picks tend to do much better. So in conclusion, we looked at how does draft position relate to career longevity by measuring games played and total minutes, and looked at are the top 10 draft picks from the NBA draft classes of 1989 to 2021 more efficient scorers than the later first round picks, or picks 11 to 30. And for that, I say, yes, sir. This is just a little basketball reference. So, coming back and focusing on the data, I would tell teams to prioritize the top 5 picks if they were to focus on career longevity or question 1, because the top 5 picks have longer careers. Because as you can see, the 5th pick plays 577 games, the first pick plays more than 21,000 minutes. Yeah, I got the number right. And the top 5 in minutes played and total games played are all clinched by the top 5 picks. If we're going to prioritize scoring efficiency, I would tell teams to prioritize the top 10 picks, because the top 10 picks have a better scoring efficiency. As you can see, when it comes to field goal percentage, it's the first pick; 3-point percentage, 4th pick; free throw percentage, 3rd pick; and overall scoring efficiency, the third pick. And the top three in each category are the top 10, and the top five in the overall scoring efficiency are the top 10 picks. So, what I would recommend for teams to get a better draft pick is to tank or to intentionally lose games. And this is the cover of the book, Tanking to the Top. And it's the story of the Philadelphia 76ers, who tanked or intentionally lost games and got multiple lottery picks. This includes Joel Embiid, picked third overall in 2014, Ben Simmons, who we saw before, who was picked first overall in 2016, and Markelle Fultz. He was picked first overall in 2017. And this was known as the process, which took place from 2013 to 2017. And these guys were the three key draft picks that they got during this time period. So they intentionally lost games and they secured high lottery level picks. And the result of this was from the years of 2018 to 2024, the Philadelphia 76ers never missed the playoffs, showing that tanking can work and intentionally losing games can secure higher draft picks. Or the second recommendation I would say is to trade. And this is a screen grab of the 2019 Paul George trade. So what happened was the Oklahoma City Thunder traded Paul George. He was a spectacular player. He was at the peak of his prime. He was 27 years old, and they traded him to the Los Angeles Clippers for the LA Clippers for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Danilo Gallinari, and multiple picks. And what happened was that the Oklahoma City Thunder cashed all of their picks, and now they turned into a championship team. This is a photo of the Oklahoma City Thunder, and they won the 2025 NBA championship. And the man holding the trophy you can see here is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the same man who they traded over here. And this can show that trading for multiple draft picks and holding on to them and cashing them in can pay off. As you can see, the Oklahoma City Thunder traded for multiple draft picks and they won an NBA championship eventually in 6 years. This is my final project presentation. Thank you for watching.